Jonathan, if you could, before we get going, will you just kind of help people understand a little bit of what your role was previously, some of your experience as a fundraiser?
Sure, Scott. So I worked at Providence Network, which is a faith-based nonprofit in the city of Denver, for about 3 years. And that's where I was first introduced to Virtuous. I had been in my role a couple months, and I actually heard a different fundraiser at a different nonprofit speak positively of Virtuous. And I was like, man, I need to pay attention to this. So I began to use it, began to get into it, and began to really enjoy using the product, using Virtuous, and did that for a couple of years, really grew out our systems and processes. And then I came over and joined the team at Virtuous Software, and I work in customer success.
One of the things I know that is so powerful is the power of automations within our platform. So can you take me back to specifically when the birthday automation kind of first clicked for you at Providence Network? What made it feel different from other tools that you'd seen?
Absolutely. So I was familiar with just sort of CRMs, other kind of data storage tools. And yet I found I wasn't super impressed with them. I didn't really realize, what they did all that well. And Virtuous to me seemed like not just like a data storage repository, but really a fundraising engine. And that got me excited about it once I'd been in kind of the platform for a couple months, got familiar with it. And I, was just exploring, and I clicked on automations and workflows. And I was like, we don't really have any active ones. Like, we should get one of these started. And I looked at the built-in templates that Virtuous offers that they come with. And the very first one on the top left corner is birthday automations. And so that's where I started. I just said, you know what? I know how to wish people happy birthday. I can build out a simple automation. And it started very simply, just sending them a birthday email. And then over time, we actually grew it out. We added letters on demand. So we sent a postcard about a week in advance. And then we also sent them like a birthday text message on their day of their birthday. So it kind of grew over time and really began to move from just like a simple automation to really a way that we positively engaged with donors on a pretty continual basis.
Now, let's get practical here. I'd love to, you just shared a little bit of kind of what happened, but I'd love for people who might still be kind of trying to understand. Can you walk us through what actually happens when a donor's birthday hits? What does the automation do? And then what is the donor experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that you can set it up in Virtuous is pretty simple. It has very simple parameters where you can choose like their birthday's coming up in a week, their birthday's today. And so, a week in advance, we sent them a postcard, and we actually tried to tie their birthday to how we would celebrate birthdays in the program and in the community. So it was a transformational housing organization where we help people coming out of homelessness and addiction. And people kind of live in community. And so we would take the opportunity to say, like, here's how one of our houses bakes a birthday cake for every single person in the house. And so we designed a postcard with different pictures of birthday cakes. And so we are not only just wishing them happy birthday on their big day, but we're actually, we're connecting it to the program and to the impact they're making. And then when it actually was the day of their birthday, we sent them a couple things. We sent them an email that did something similar where it wished them happy birthday, but then it said, here's how we're celebrating birthdays in our program. Thank you for being a part of this. And that really touched people. Like, people really loved receiving that. And then we also sent them a text message where on their birthday, it included a video link to a YouTube video where our staff sang them happy birthday. And it was just like, dear friends of our organization, happy birthday. And it was very awkward to film, but people loved it, and people watched it and got a kick out of it and felt seen on their birthdays. And yet it was also not just a general like birthday from your dentist kind of email. It was like, here's how you're supporting us, and here's how we celebrate birthdays too.
Yeah. That's awesome. Now, what problem does birthday automation actually solve for a nonprofit trying to stay connected with donors at scale?
I think we're trying to help our donors feel seen. And for most people, not everyone, but for many people, like, your birthday is a day that you kind of want to be seen. And we can think about going into some of the big box stores, you shouldn't expect them to see you on your birthday. And yet sometimes they still do. They send you like coupons and discounts and like a free donut on your birthday. And so as nonprofits, like we want to be more personal than that. We want to be a human engagement, not just like a transactional, but really a transformative relationship. And so when we feel seen by our donors, when they give to us, we want to turn that favor around and help them feel seen on days that matter to them. And I'll tell you, the reactions we would get from those emails and those text messages were really positive. Like people, I don't think I ever got a single complaint from anyone because it was unique, it was tailored, and it was timely.
Yeah. Now, how does something as simple as collecting birthdays, engaging with donors, or connect to a bigger fundraising strategy? Things like planned giving, major donor cultivation.
Absolutely. It does. I actually think birthday automations are $10 trillion automations because, right, there's this big wealth transfer that's huge numbers of one generation passing along to the next. And when we get someone's birthday into our system, we begin to understand where they are in their journey, their lifetime. And there are certain like windows where we should be sending them information about legacy giving and planned giving, right? And so if we think about not just like we're trying to connect on their birthday, but we're also trying to strengthen that relationship and then know when to make a timely ask to join our planned giving program. That's why birthday automations are the $10 trillion automation, right? Because you're getting that info. And if you don't have a donor's birthday, like Virtuous does offer like age pins, so we can actually help you with that through our professional services. But on top of that, you could make an additional automation that and I got this idea from someone else, like it emails them, like, so you query out, this person doesn't have a birthday in our system. And then just build a simple email that on a day, it just emails them and says, hey, we love to celebrate birthdays at our organization. Would you just reply with your birthday? And we got a lot of people that would reply to that.
Yeah.
And then we put that into our system. And so now we could wish them a happy birthday. And we had a better idea of when to invite them to join our legacy giving program.
Yeah. Well, Jonathan, thanks for helping people understand the power of birthday automations, the power of automations on an organization, and also the way that fuels a fundraising strategy. We really appreciate it.
Oh, happy to do it.